collecting rubber, little bro, run them bands up. I just topped the tree, little LST, try run them grams up. I'ma make more than I spend. Hop in the water with them. You ain't never seen niggas swim. That boy short, big fins. Fuck nigga think they run the shit, so I bought a hoe and be a fence. Put 2 grinds in the back with twist that bitch, now it's up in the wind. Mama got by like a Benz. She know you boy going for the win. Tell a little partner over, they smell that old, I want her friend. Shake it, ayy, ayy, shake it, baby, shake it, ayy, ayy, shake it, baby, shake it, ayy, ayy, shake it, baby, shake it, ayy, ayy, shake it, baby. Say I love me, shake like that, baby, love me, touching that pack like that. Cut up a sack, run on rack, squat down, look, then make it all back. Think this quarter, I'm doing that cat. No refund, she throwing it back. Mom the only Tennessee jack. Watch it fall, I'm take the stack. Straight out the mud with this shit, I won't fuck me that bitch. That first fuck niggas in the back. Boy, these niggas been pussy big cat. I don't see the nigga where I be at. They know that I'm the one that put the mob on the mouth. Every nigga coming after me, bitch, that shit count. If I flip the switch, them pussy won't eat, that's a fact. If I flip that switch, then watch out for them folks in black. Yeah, I might throw a nigga half, I won't ask for shit back. Yeah, when it's time to really come and see me, that's a fact. Yeah, I done put some niggas on just like that. Yeah, I ain't stingy with it, come and get it, you know it's it. Yeah, I ain't slipping 2 weeks, I'm outside trying to get it. My baby love when I walk in the house and I got that bag with me. I'm collecting rubber, little bro, run them bands up. I just topped the tree, little LST, try run them grams up. I'ma make more than I spend. Hop in the water with them. You ain't never seen niggas swim. That boy short, big fins. Fuck nigga think they run the shit, so I bought a hoe and be a fence. Put 2 grinds in the back with twist that bitch, now it's up in the wind. Mama got by like a Benz. She know you boy going for the win. Tell a little partner over, they smell that old, I want her friend. Shake it, ayy, ayy, shake it, baby, shake it, ayy, ayy, shake it, baby, shake it, ayy, ayy, shake it, baby, shake it, ayy, ayy, shake it, baby. Talk about got me feeling like I turn that boy to a pass, smell that bitch and I ash him. Promise if I catch him like I'm going on so fast you won't see it happen. I waste no time to speak with my mind, I don't go fuck about your status. Cut from a whole nother cloth. Promise she ain't seen this fabric. She like me charged up when I touch, when I slide, it's a lot shit tablet. Violent bitch, she hit 10 minutes, I'm come right back, I'm an addict. Loud in the group, brought a 5-man 2 for you, I already know I'm a dragon. Her sister, friend, her auntie cool, don't bring your brother, he a faggot. Yeah, I know what I say, I'm stand that shit, we don't need to drag it. Seen so many niggas switch up, transforming in traffic. Chickens all that, they can have it, already well known and established. Mind, body, soul still attached. Hop in this bitch and I spit with a passion. I ain't sneak this and that, nigga, if I ain't saying I ain't keep mashing. I just call it how I see it, dog, it's a lot of fuck shit handy. Everybody time I cat, but what about them folks in that set traffic shit? Whole bunch of niggas quiet, high from that ill list. I'm collecting rubber, little bro, run them bands up. I just topped the tree, little LST, try run them grams up. I'ma make more than I spend. Hop in the water with them. You ain't never seen niggas swim. That boy short, big fins. Fuck nigga think they run the shit, so I bought a hoe and be a fence. Put 2 grinds in the back with twist that bitch, now it's up in the wind. Mama got by like a Benz. She know you boy going for the win. Set a little partner over, they smell that old, I want her friend.
Ayy, Ma, what it do? My boy Yaya in here. I gotta get years of a wrench, bro. Hey, Top G, what it do? Miss B in the building. Yesterday, man, I fell down that Stephen A. Jason Whitlock rabbit hole. Them boys been squabbling out here. And actually, in 10 minutes, Jason Whitlock is scheduled to give his response to Stephen A. Smith. So it's been a lot of back and forth going on. I think what I seen more or less on the timeline and in the YouTube streets today was people reacting to Stephen A. and a lot of press around what Stephen A. had to say about Jason Whitlock. I be me, Macho Grams. Hey! Yes, sir. But yeah, man. For the most part, yeah, a lot of people been reacting to what Stephen A. had to say and chiming in on Stephen A.'s reaction. But I mean, me on the outside looking in, first thing came to my mind, because I did basically like everybody else too and watch what Stephen A. had to say first, and I ain't really check out Jason Whitlock or give his content a chance. We just see Stephen A. with the video finally responding to Jason Whitlock. So I'm like, man, what the hell going on? And watching Stephen A, Jason Whitlock actually pulled up in the stream. He pulled up on me. So that definitely made me want to give him a chance and see what the hell he said or what he did to make Stephen A turn up like that. We went down that rabbit hole last night, man. Make sure you check out the previous live streams before to get caught up. And if you coming in right now, like, oh man, this a good one. This a good one. And I'm not gonna fake. Of course, the news for the day and the big thing for the day was the narrative. Oh, Stephen A went in on Jason Whitlock. Stephen A destroyed Jason. Like, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, it would look like from the outside in that Stephen A just done killed this man's whole career. But actually, watching it back, you know what I'm saying, doing my little homework, I feel like still right now at this point, if you've seen both sides, I think Jason Whitlock might have an edge, bro. I think Jason Whitlock might have an edge on this beef, man. So, yeah, let's just get into it. Let's watch. I have no dog in the fight. But where we left off at yesterday, Jason Whitlock was exposing Stephen A was put in place. Basically calling him an industry plant and saying masculinity is being feminized by ESPN leaders, which is Stephen A. So it started getting deep. I be me, it's all love. I came on super late. It was like 2 something. It was like 2 something. It was late as fuck, but definitely A1 content, good content still, and for sure. So let's get straight into it. Appreciate y'all for being here right now, man. Hit that like button. Let's see if we can take off. Yeah.
And then I go look and just like, well, what has Stephen A been saying in interviews? How does he unpack any of this stuff in interviews? And I'm just, he can, as it relates, these is just simple stuff because, again, Stephen A's job is to be a Negro wrangler. And to herd athletes and other black men in the direction the regime wants them to go. And so that's why this whole athletic career thing is important. And this is why Stephen A runs around promoting the myth that he was some sort of high caliber athlete. And there's just very little evidence of Stephen A being any type of athlete at any point in his life. Anybody that's seen him throughout the first
Jason, you don't look too athletic yourself, my G, but hey, hold on, let's get to it.
First pitch at a Yankees game or whatever, like, whoa, this dude says he was an athlete? And so this whole selling of Stephen A. Oh, he played basketball at Winston-Salem State, and he got a full-ride basketball scholarship to Winston-Salem State. And you read the book, and you go, well, hold on, man. You're saying that you were only on your high school basketball team for a month or two as a senior. You got cut from the team your junior year, and you tell some farcical story about a tryout day in high school, and you got put on varsity on the spot because in some one-on-one game you beat up Franklin Smith. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I just want to show you Stephen A. Smith in his own words trying to keep his story straight as it relates to his alleged basketball career at Winston-Salem State. In, I believe, November of 2022, Malika Andrews, Jalen Rose, and JJ Redick were on ESPN. And Malika Andrews and Jalen and the producers at ESPN were having a little fun.
My nigga Clay!
With Stephen A. Smith. And they put together a graphic of everybody's basketball average, their stats, their senior year. There's Jalen Rose averaging 17, 18 points a game. There's JJ Redick averaging 24, 25 points a game. And then they show Stephen A. Smith averaging 1.5 points a game. Watch the clip, and then let me explain to you what you're actually watching.
We're coming off college hoops, guys.
Yeah.
So I do want to show you all a little something. I got a little something to show you here before we dig into the NBA. Take a look at this blind resume here. It's 3 players. Their scoring average in each person's final college season. Do we have any guesses who this might be? Jalen, who do you think? What is this?
I was gonna say Stephen A. number 1, Jalen Rose number 2, JJ Redick number 3. If you know basketball, you know JJ was shooting the leather off that sumbitch of Duke. Oh my God, bro. I mean, he was definitely a respected shooter in the NBA as well. Duke, JJ Redick, man, that motherfucker shooting the leather off that bat.
This is hilarious. JJ's on the right.
Onion rings and Funyuns, got onion rings and Funyuns.
It's our starting lineup from tonight.
Well, they're not telling us I only played 1 game because I cracked my kneecap in half, but that's neither here nor there.
That is neither here.
This game, you're not ready for it.
Man, I'm about to talk about it, guy.
So, and I explained this to you last week, but I'm just reiterating. The man just argued on national TV on ESPN with his stats up there saying he averaged 1.5 points per game. Stephen A. Smith says, what they're not telling you is I only played 1 game.
Diming him up, wouldn't he? He was diming him up, wouldn't he?
Can't average 1.5 points in 1 game. It's impossible. And I'm not a math major, but it's impossible.
That's a fact.
So that's in November of 2022. Stephen A. trying to explain his basketball career at Winston-Salem State.
Man, that boy was scared, man. That boy was scared, dude, bruh. Shooting the leather off that motherfucker.
I think circles back in August of 23 and has a new explanation. This isn't on ESPN. This is on his podcast. He has a new explanation for his basketball career and his poor stats at Winston-Salem State. Play the clip.
Let's get the basketball stuff out of the way. I'm sick and tired of people lying about my basketball resume. Ladies and gentlemen, when I say that I wasn't great, I'm talking about compared to greatness. I was good enough to get a basketball scholarship. I was good enough to get my education paid for. With 2 bad knees. They talk about I averaged 1.5 points a game. I saw some article on social media. That's a lie. It was less. See that?
That's a lie. It was less. How you get? Damn. So it was just 1 point a game then. Like how?
You didn't know I was gonna say that, did you? It was less than that. It's a lie. How about 0? Because I never played. Because I cracked my kneecap in half. I got operated on at Wake Forest University in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. My mama was by my bedside. My sisters.
Salute to the soil. NC all day, you know. Real Carolina shit.
Came to see me. They said I'd never walk straight again. My bone cracked in half. My first year at Winston-Salem State.
Ow, God. He keeps saying it, dog. I'm an empath. Every time he say it, I feel like a little sharp, a little small, little sharp pain shoot through my knee. Left knee too. And he said he messed up both his kneecaps. But every time he say it, bro, I feel a little sharp pain shoot through my knee. Shut the fuck up, Stephen A.
I still have those knee pains to this very day. Still. In the knee that still has a 6-inch screw in it that I never took out. And in the left knee, because I spent years overcompensating for the pain in the right knee. You didn't know that, did you? Did you?
Salute all my boys out there with bad knees, man. Salute to the torn ACL, MCL gang. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the torn meniscus gang. Yeah, boy. All my folks out there with bad knees, boy. It ain't our fault, cuz. That shit genetics.
You want to sit up there and think, I just ride the bench. I couldn't play. Ask people who played against me whether or not I could play.
There's a lot going on there. A lot going on. Now, I'm,
Go ahead and say lying, Jason. Go ahead and say, man, you sitting there telling an ugly lie. Go ahead and tell him, man. Say it. Stephen A., you are telling an ugly lie, my sir.
Oh, Oh shit!
300 pounds. It would be hard to get a 6-inch screw in my knee. Stephen A. Smith, 160, 170 pounds, 6'1". He's got a 6-inch screw in his knee? 6 inches? In his knee? I'm going to say something really politically incorrect, and I apologize, but it's what came to my head. I apologize to my...
What if it's in that vertical? Well, nah, because it got to be in. My bad. My bad. I was trying to shoot Stephen A. some bail, cuz. I was trying to shoot him some bail. Never mind. I was going to say, what if it's vertical, but a 6-inch, that wouldn't work in a place, in a spot that supposed to be in. I don't think that'll work. Unless Stephen A. got tree trunks for legs and we don't know it. I ain't never seen that man legs before.
Christian viewers. Does he have a vagina in his knee?
What?
Because I just don't, I can't, the math ain't mathing. None of the math is mathing.
See?
The 1.5 points per game in one game that he lied and said about, and now he's blaming social media and other people for telling that lie, and to now, I played 0 games and I scored 0 points because I cracked my knee in half.
That forehead way back there. Yeah, if he'd have said he had a 6-inch screw in his motherfucker, and in lineup, I could let me shut up, bro. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. That ain't.
And his explanation of how he cracked his knee in half in his book, in his own words, is farcical. The math isn't mathing. And then, being a bit of a journalist, and I showed you all this. Do we have the stat sheet from the 1991, the 90-91 Winston-Salem State Rams? In bold, in yellow, there is a Stephen Smith listed on the stat sheet.
God.
And it's also, I think this is maybe out of their yearbook or out.
Bro. This man got the worst shot percentage on the team. No. But no. Okay. Stephen A. went 5 for 23 in total. 5 for 23 total. 3-pointers, 5 for 20. So out of 23 shots in his whole career, 20 of them were 3-pointers and he hit 5. So what, this man gotta shoot 4 shots to hit 1? Yeah, he making 1 out of 4 shots. Boom. Oh nah, he right there with the rest of the scrubs. We got a 2 for 12. We got a 2 for 5. Turner Mark probably been way more efficient than Stephen A. He 2 for 5 out there. Got a 2 for 10 and a 1 for 8. God damn. One thing about it, well, he played 9 games. He played 9 games, shot it 23 times. So that's what, like 2 shots per game? 2.5 shots per game. All of them from the 3. So he like made a bucket every other game? Like, damn, but it's an ugly ass stat sheet, my nigga. It's gonna take you 4 shots to hit 1. Oh, nah, that ain't efficient. That's not efficient, sir.
Out of some program, game day program that Winston-Salem State had, but there's an NCAA website, archive website, that also lists a Stephen Smith on the Winston-Salem State team in 91.
Huh?
That stat sheet either has 9 or 10 games listed for that Stephen Smith. But I would assume this is the stat sheet that provoked ESPN to put up that graphic.
God.
This 9 games on the stat sheet. Now he's saying he played no games and it's all a lie. What is it? And what type of pathological exaggerator or liar can't keep a story straight about a college basketball career that they talk about constantly, that they've gone back to Winston-Salem State's campus to celebrate him, and they keep promoting the Wilt Chamberlain photo, the headshot of Stephen A. Smith, as this is all we can get of proof of Stephen A. And there's another headshot similar to that one, but there's 2 different little headshots like that.
I ain't gonna lie, Stephen A. look like he'll probably kill at the blacktop. You know what I'm saying? In his time, he'll probably smash out. He look like he'll got down, like he'll ball out at the blacktop.
They keep promoting as proof of Stephen A. Smith's college basketball career. And there are stats saying that a Stephen Smith was on the team. Stephen A. has just disavowed those stats on camera in 2023. That ain't me is what he's saying. And whoever put me on that stat sheet is lying because I only played 0 games. And you wonder why he got installed. The truth is not important to him. He's very comfortable lying, exaggerating, misleading. Just go look at his own narrative. And then last week I showed you.
See, that's why Stephen A. called you the B word right there, boy.
This is like a 2-minute clip of one of the times the First Take show went and visited the Winston-Salem State campus to honor Stephen.
You sitting there calling that man a bald-faced lie on Beyonce's internet, man. You know good, boy. Look, I know you can't sit there and call that man no lie. That's why Stephen A. called you the B word, bro. You know what I'm saying? Though I don't hear it, you know what I'm saying? From what I hear, shit, sound like you spitting facts on that nigga. But you call that man a lie, a bald-faced lie, cuz. That's why he called you the B word, straight up.
Stephen A. Smith. And they whip out the Wilt Chamberlain photo, and they bring out a handful of Stephen A. Smith's teammates. Woo, this is, let's play SOC 13. Play the clip.
I have come home and I have stood at the base of the steps just dreading the 40 stairs that I have to climb up. And there's 40 because I've counted them. When you're not healthy, it's hard to be happy. I'm Tommy.
Boy, I better not the fire the Rooster. Rooster be running around too much. That's the only reason why I'm scared of the VR joints. I want one bad, but I know he gonna want to play with it and he gonna break the motherfucker. Rooster gonna destroy that hoe. And then I looked up, like, you gotta be at least 13 to even, you gotta be like 13 to fuck with him. So it's like, yeah, ain't no point of getting that shit. And I know he gonna be dying to get his hands on it and tie it up too. And then too, like, bro, just be running around too much. I'm in that motherfucker boxing, whatever hell I'm doing, I'm gonna hook the shit out of Rooster. I already know it.
I've been working with Stephen A. almost 5 years. You know, he's pretty big time. He's the star, the alpha, but I really wonder what he was like in college.
Hey, hey, that's pretty much like the most accurate assessment with this beef right here, Macho. That's it right here. What you just said. Jason is talking stats, Stephen A. just calling them names. And for what we've seen in the past, day and a half? Ain't even a whole, yeah. Well, just the past day, because we just got on this last night. So what we've been seeing is Jason Whitlock talk stats of Stephen A. Yeah, that's the most accurate assessment out of all this shit.
And that's why we just surprised him. Let's throw it over to Stephen A. Can you please introduce your longtime friends and teammates?
Well, first of all, you ain't gonna...
Y'all gonna punch that. Y'all gonna knock that little heater goddamn VR. Gio! My boy Gio up in here, man. My boy Gio up in here. Right on time, G. But whoa. Hey, boy, that VR ain't no joke, ain't it?
Don't find out too much, because each and every one of these boys know better than talking about me publicly like this, okay? So you better mind your manners. Don't be telling all the secrets, all right? These are my teammates from Winston-Salem State, a few of them from the basketball team at Winston-Salem State. Pretty boy Phil Hayes is the one here right now. What's up, Phil?
What's good, Steve? Congratulations, brother. Proud of you, man.
Man, them boys short. Why did his whole team a little bit? I thought Stephen A. was short. I ain't know Stephen A. was 6'1". I mean, you know what I'm saying? I would think that's above average height for an average man. His team short as hell, though.
How is it that after all of these years you still look the same?
Living in the Hamptons, baby.
He's a model, too. This is ridiculous, man. Bye, man. My man Phil Hayes. Appreciate you. Love your boy.
Let's get it,
Monte Ross, former assistant coach at St. Joe's, former head coach at Delaware. I don't want to tell your business. I can tell now where you're going to be at. Temple University. You're going to be assistant coach at Temple University back in the... What's going on, Mom?
What's going on, Steve? What's going on, man? How you doing?
So you didn't think to tell me about this? You wanted to surprise you? What were you trying to say to the people?
I was sworn to secrecy, and I think we got you.
You did get me. You did get me. Oh, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you too. What Temple gonna do this year?
We'll be all right. We'll be all right. As long as the coaches stay out of the way, we'll be all right.
Aaron McKee texted me earlier today, head coach for Temple. He texted me earlier. I should have known you were here because he texted me.
Well, you know, he's a social media genius just like yourself, so I'm not surprised.
Still a politician after all of these years. Thanks a lot, baby. Appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy right here, his name is Gary Stevens. We know him as Spank. I despise this man's laugh, okay? Him and this guy right here, Mark Turner, once collaborated with each other to put on some old zoot suit my father had sent me to college with and walking around campus imitating me with the suit on. This is what I had to go through when I was a youngster. What's up, Spank?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
You didn't think to tell me either?
Nah, we was on the phone, Sunday for like an hour, right?
That's right. And you didn't tell me a word.
I was sworn to secrecy, as Mark said, man. That was our job. We did a good job, right?
I'll deal with you later.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna fake this coming off like hating. Like this pretty like this a cool little moment, man. This a cool little moment. Why the fuck we like hate? It's come off like sneak hating a little bit with.
So, and there were other teammates that Stephen A. engaged with. I'm stopping it there for a couple of reasons. Obviously, if you're looking like Stephen A. is towering over those first three guys. Stephen A. Smith is 6'1". I've stood next to him. I've known him for a number of years. Stephen A. is 6'1". First guy, Phil Hayes, standing next to Stephen A. Maybe he's 5'8". I don't 5'9", maybe.
Right.
There's a Phil Hayes listed in the programs back in those days and the stat sheets and leave that image up for a while because I think Phil Hayes may be the guy on the far left or as it relates to far left as it relates. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Phil Hayes is the second guy in the black suit next to Stephen A. Gary Stevens is the guy to the right of Stephen A. Smith. But Phil Hayes, I believe, is listed as 6 foot back in the old Winston-Salem State programs. That Stephen A. 6'1", that looks 3-4 inches discrepancy. I don't know. Stephen A. played on one of the shortest basketball teams and has the shortest basketball teammates. And
Regal, what's good, bro? I was sitting here thinking the same thing, but I wouldn't have made that a point for the I probably would have like, damn. Damn. So you finna go in because this team short. He can't help them niggas a little bitty, man. But that's probably how he got a scholarship though. Like, oh shit, boy, all right. Nigga 6 feet, you can hoop a little bit. Come on, full ride. Let's get it.
The Gary Stevens is perhaps the most interesting of all these people. And that's the guy. He's on Stephen A. Smith's left shoulder. I believe he's on the right-hand side of the screen.
And
Gary
that boy Regal here.
Stevens runs around with Stephen A. Smith to this day. Flies out with Stephen A. everywhere. He is allegedly one of, he's Spank, he's Stephen A.'s good friend, and the only reference I could find, before I go further, the Monte Ross, he's legitimate. He's mentioned in Big House Gaines' book as someone Big House had a lot of respect for. He's a coach now. I think he's a head coach maybe at North Carolina Central or whatever. He's involved in college basketball. He was an assistant coach at Temple. There are a handful of stats. He legitimately played at Winston-Salem State. I think Phil Hayes has a stat or two, but he's supposed to be some 6 foot guy. Stephen A's towering over him. That guy looks 5'8", 5'9". And then the Gary Stevens. Again, this is the guy that runs around the country as Stephen A's former college teammate. I found a newspaper article that referenced Gary Stevens. I believe it's in 1989, July 23rd, the 1989 Winston-Salem Journal. And do we have that image? I think I sent it to y'all and asked y'all to get a screen grab on it. But you can look it up on newspaper.com or anywhere. Gary Stevens is mentioned at the end of this article as a 6'3" guard from Inglewood, New Jersey. It's at the very end. He's in yellow. 6'3" guard from Inglewood, New Jersey. That guy standing next to Stephen A. Smith is not 6'3". Looks to be 5'8", 5'9". He's pictured all over social media with Stephen A. Smith. I don't have an explanation for any of this or any of that. It's just weird. And furthermore, I found information about Gary Stevens, who And this Gary Stevens, the guy that's over social media.
Why the fuck, bro? Why are you exposing Gary? What did Gary do, my G?
Traveling around, where he played at some New York school, Old Westbury. Not at Winston-Salem State. You can't find Gary Stevens on the registrar at Winston-Salem State. You can't find any stats other than this mentioned in this article. And perhaps Gary Stevens was.
AG the Great. See, that's why I've been watching both sides, bro. I've been trying to see both sides. And it's like, you could tell, oh, Jason pushing agendas, but shit, it's a lot of stuff he backing up with receipts. So, oh man, oh no, cuz, oh no, it's funny to watch though. And if I'm not mistaken, Jason Whitlock might be responding to Stephen A. Smith rant yesterday. So, shit, we got content lined up.
Was a guy that had said to somebody, "Hey, I'm 6'3" and I'm coming up to Winston-Salem State," and Big House Gaines lays eyes on him and say, "Hey, man, you're not 6'3. You're 5'9", 5'8". And maybe that was the end of his college basketball career at Winston-Salem State. But I can't find pictures of him on the team. They haven't put together a Wilt Chamberlain-like photo of Gary Stevens. When we called the registrar, they could never find a Gary Stevens that was registered at Winston-Salem State. Maybe I haven't done the appropriate amount of research, but this guy seems like a total mystery. And I don't get it. It doesn't add up. So I want to. Stephen A. is upset and he's being taken out of context. I think he's talking about Draymond Green, but let's say he's talking about me. And so I want to play some of these clips of Stephen A. in his own words, describing his basketball experience.
There go the manipulation right there. You kind of misleading people. Like, this is a manipulative tactic that you're doing right now, because you kind of started this one off fucked up saying, I think you talk about Draymond Green, but let's say he's talking about me. And that's what people fuck up with. Well, that's what people really like mess up at real bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what people definitely mess up at every time. Trying to make something about them when it's not. You know what I'm saying?
And other stories related to Stephen A. I want to start with SOT 15. This is, I believe, Stephen A. sitting down on the Rap Radar podcast, I believe. Let's play that clip first.
I'm an alumnus of Delaware State University.
All right.
Why did you decide to go to Winston-Salem State?
Well, basketball scholarship.
Okay.
I believe it or not, I went to FIT, Fashion Institute here at Technology.
I saw that. Actually, I saw that. Same high school.
Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison in Queens.
No doubt about it.
Baby.
Electrical installation in the house.
Yes.
I didn't do that great. Thank God thank God I didn't burn somebody's house down. But the thing is that while I was at Thomas, not at Thomas Edison, after I graduated from Thomas Edison, coming out of high school, I was like 5'9", 130 pounds, man. I was small at times, but I could really shoot the rock.
Get to the hoop.
So I wasn't getting scholarship offers, obviously, but
the school don't help. Well, that explain why he can't find nothing right there. That explain why he can't find that. AG the Great on it, bro. Appreciate the info.
FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology. Everybody used to laugh about that. But I had two advantages, okay? Number one, the basketball team was really the only male population in the school.
Ooh, some cuties,
Everyone else was either female or they were homosexuals.
Right.
Not interested in the females. So that left the females to the basketball team. So we were we were in a very good okay. And last but not least, it was junior college and we were ranked 15th in the nation.
Yeah.
And so the year I was there, we were 35-4. We were doing our thing and what have you. And then a guy by the name of Howard Funny Kit, he used to play for Winston-Salem State in Big House Gaines in the 70s. He kept a good relationship with the coach, brought me down for a tryout. The coach put me on the basketball floor against the starters. I dropped 17 straight 3-pointers.
Wow.
And he gave me a scholarship on the spot.
Damn.
And that's how I ended up in Winston-Salem State. That was my brightest moment, because from that point forward, I cracked my kneecap in half, and I was never the
I ain't make another shot since then.
same, and that was that.
What do you think is going to...
Would you still go to your job if Amazon sent you a paycheck every 2 weeks?
That man said he hit 17 straight threes.
Because there's a little loophole on Amazon right now that you can use to get...
Put his jersey on, then with motherfucker 5 for 23. God.
So there's a couple of things, two or three things. One tiny. He calls Harold Kit, Howard there. Let's just say he screwed up. He's telling this story. He calls him Howard. His name's Harold. That's according to Stephen A's book and according to our research in terms of finding someone who played at Winston-Salem State. Stephen, that's small error, no big deal. But the 17 straight three-pointers in a tryout, and I've walked people through what he says in his book. These are the book that he says he wrote. It's his memoir, it's his story. The man says that in February of 1988, this Kitt guy, Harold Kitt, works him out and is so impressed in this one-on-one workout that the next weekend he drives Stephen A. from New York to North Carolina to try out for the Winston-Salem State basketball team. These are Stephen A. Smith's words in his own book. In February, on a playground outdoors in New York City, he does a tryout for Harold Kitt or somebody, and Harold Kitt then drives him the next weekend to Winston-Salem State. So February, or the first weekend in March, he drives to Winston-Salem for a tryout. College basketball teams in February, first week of March, they're still in season. Stephen A. writes in his book that they drive down on a Saturday and that on Sunday morning, he wakes up and then goes over to a basketball scrimmage that the team is having. And Big House Gaines, he shows up late. The scrimmage is going on. And Big House Gaines checks him in and he hits 17 straight shots. Just think it through for those of you that know anything about sports. A college basketball team is wrapping up its season in February and the first week of March. They're playing games on Saturday. But on Sunday, they're holding a scrimmage that Stephen A. Smith shows up in the middle of, gets checked into the scrimmage, knocks down 17 straight three-pointers, and is given a scholarship on the spot to a small Division II historically black college with a tight budget. That's all over Big House Gaines' own book that was released in 2004. That purse strings were tight, constantly. And somehow they gave Stephen A. Smith a scholarship on the spot because in one scrimmage on a Sunday, he hit 17 straight three-pointers. It doesn't make sense, not to anybody that knows anything about college athletics. And that's why I'm like, does Stephen A. know anything about college athletics? How does someone who would write this narrative arc, this story, how is someone that shallow, that little understanding of how college athletics even works, how does he become the face of sports media at ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports? Is he there because of his expertise, because of his experience, or is he there because he's willing to lie and exaggerate?
And that's why Stephen A. gonna get away with cussing that man out like that too, cause he taking shots at ESPN and all. He taking like, I can see if he was just keeping it strictly on Stephen A. But he throwing little side shots in there too, so that's why Stephen A. gonna be able to get away with violating that man and saying whatever he wants to that man. That's crazy.
And tell farcical stories. How? Any NBA player, anybody that's played a lick of college sports, explain how you give that story as how you landed a basketball scholarship. Outdoor tryout in New York in February, next weekend tryout on Sunday with a college basketball team that's wrapping up its college basketball season, you get a scholarship on the spot. Make it make sense. The other thing I just want to add, like again, Monte Ross mentioned in Big House Gaines' book. Stephen A. Smith not mentioned at all. Perhaps the most famous alum from Winston-Salem State, Big House Gaines doesn't reference him. And you can say, well, the book was written in 2004, and Stephen A. is far more famous now than he was then. But by the time that book was published, Stephen A. had been on CNN, SI.
Oh God, I wasn't gonna say that because I'm like, yeah, I filtered that one out. But I was sitting here thinking like, man, this nigga is the greatest shooter of all time, nigga. Talking about Jordan, I don't think. Steph Curry sat there and shot like 100 of them bitches one time on an Instagram clip. But yeah, bro, Stephen A. different.
And on Fox Sports for 5 years. When I get to tell you these other Stephen A. Smith.
When I make my build on 2K25, I'm definitely making a Stephen A. Smith my player. And that's gonna be like, I'm gonna play out the whole storyline of Stephen A. Smith if his knees never crack. on 2K25. I don't give a damn what they talking about on that game. I'm gonna create the storyline, and we're gonna do what happened to Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, 6-1. I'm gonna make a 6-1 build. He gonna be the coldest. I'm telling you. Blood cold. He ain't gonna be able to do nothing but shoot threes either. I'm gonna put that nigga 3-ball on 99. I don't even like Stephen A. That's what I'm saying. I'm here to see. Yeah, I'm here. We here to shoot it down the middle. We ain't got no dollars in this fight. I ain't got no dollars in this fight. I do appreciate the man pulling up though. That shit was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Him dropping out, pulling up in the chat, but shit, we still ain't got no dog in this fight.
That story is, it just does. Big House Gaines never mentions him in a book. Now, he mentions thousands of people. Go read the index of all the people that's mentioned. But Stephen A. Smith, not even a sentence. Make it make sense. And keep it. Stephen A. claims father figure. So I want to play you. And last point. Stephen A. Smith says coming out of high school, he was 5'9", 130 pounds. 5'9", 130 pounds. You don't make the team as a junior in high school. You do make the team as a senior in high school. And so now he's 5'9", 130 pounds coming out of high school. Listen to this story he tells about his high school basketball tryout, and then tell me how it makes sense. This is SOT number 2, play.
I'm quoting you from the book, but this became a kind of a guiding principle in your life. Before getting lost in the shuffle, toot your own horn.
Yeah.
Explain that.
I'm playing high school basketball, and I was not Michael Jordan. Couldn't shine his shoes. Couldn't shine LeBron's shoes. Couldn't shine Allen Iverson's shoes on my best day. I'm not trying to pretend that I was that dude. But could I ball? Yes. And if you weren't a high caliber collegiate or professional athlete, chances are you went up against me, I would whip your ass. The flip side to it, however, was that I'm balling all over the school and going to different high schools. I went to Thomas Edison, Jamaica. High school was right across the street. Hillside High School was right down the block. Van Buren was up the road, and I'm going to all of these schools and the parks where all of these dudes play. And I'm doing my thing too. And then tryouts came, and I finally decided my junior year to try, because I never tried out my freshman or sophomore year. And it was this guy on the team that I couldn't stand. I didn't like him as a person. He didn't like me. But he was on the team. And he was this light-skinned dude. His name was Franklin Williams. He was about 6'2", 6'3", about 210 pounds. And he could really ball, but he couldn't shoot like me. He wasn't fast as me. He just had a really big backside. He was a wide body, and he knew how to use it, And so I went into the tryouts looking forward to it, and everybody was looking forward to it as well. And what he did was he got one of his boys along with him to double team me. So they would shield me from getting the basketball, or even when I touched the basketball, there was 2 dudes on me, so I had to give it up. Because I had to do that, the coach was Harvey Stoller. That was his name. And he didn't know what the hell was going on. He didn't know me from a can of paint. So he was like, he's looking at the best players out there that are making noise, making a difference, and I wasn't one of them. And I got cut. And I was furious because I knew that I wasn't dealt a fair shake because of what Franklin had pulled off. So I walked around with animosity for months. And I told him, I said, every chance I get, I don't care how good you are, I said, every chance I get, excuse my language, I said, every chance I get, I said, I'm going to bust your ass, right? And so, smartly for him, when we played in the back of the school, he would never show. He didn't have to, because he was on the basketball team already. I wasn't. So you're on the varsity. You don't need to play, pick up basketball with somebody that didn't even make the team or whatever. But I was just on this mission. And I told everybody, and I made sure everybody spread the word of what he did to me, because it was my way of trying to call him out. And then cats that agreed with him, we would step outside in the back of the school to play ball, and I'd smoke all of them day after day after day. And I remember it was like a string. It was like a span of 6 consecutive months, 7 days a week, 6 consecutive months. I never failed to take less than 300 jump shots a day. And it got to a point where I was just in the park and I was closing my eyes and hitting 25, 30-foot jump shots. I was just ready. I wanted him so bad. And then the next semester came around, and it was a month before tryouts. And the coach, Harvey Stoller, who was teaching at John Bound High School, but he was coaching at Thomas Edison, he was in his office getting ready to conduct tryouts. A week before tryouts, I made a beeline to his office, and I said, you don't know me. My name is Stephen Smith. I said, I just want to take 2 minutes of your time. I want to make this team. I want to earn it. I said, but I want you to know what happened to me last year. And I told him what happened. And I said, all I ask is for two things. I said, number one.
Grumpy head salute.
One, I said, remember me, because I'm going to see you when I get on the court next week and show you. And then I said, number two, after I bust all ass, I said, and I'm not going to lie, those are the exact words I used to him. That's why I said that. I said, after I do that, I said, I only have one favor. I said, you have a guy on this team, and I gave him that guy's name, and I said, I want him on the court against me, just so I can solidify my point. And that next week, I went to that tryout. I hit everything. I mean, they just couldn't stop me. It was money. And once I did that, I went, and I hit, like, because you had these games, and they'll go up to like 10 or 12 or whatever, and I hit the game winner. And I grabbed the bat. After I hit the game winner, I grabbed the basketball, and I walked to midcourt, and I put the basketball on midcourt. And everybody was looking at like, what's going on? Because tries were supposed to be over. And Harvey Stoller looked over at Franklin Williams. He said, that's for you. Get out there. And he put him out there, and I bust his ass. And after that, the coach said, I guess that settles that. Welcome to the varsity squad.
How do you take 20,000 children in the middle of New York City without anybody seeing?
Jason Whitlock finna sit there and say, oh, that's cap.
So he's speaking in front of an audience there, obviously. And audiences are gullible, the interviewer is gullible, and so a round of applause for a farcical story. High school basketball tryouts. And Stephen A. and I are the same age. Yes, I grew up in Indiana. He grew up in New York. They're not
God salute. Hey.
One-day affairs. There's not one big scrimmage and then a one-on-one matchup, and then boom, they decide who's on the team. High school.
Dang. How you doing? Hope you doing good. Appreciate you finally pulling up. Shit, I appreciate them sending that Jane out. Yeah.
We got a kid that is an associate producer, works the cameras for us. Pretty good high school basketball player, I believe, in Oklahoma. Luke, help me out here. You're young. You're just 19, 20 years old, but and maybe things have changed. Is a high school basketball tryout a one-day event? Yeah, okay. He just confirmed it. It's 2 weeks. So nothing's changed from my day in terms of like, there is no one-day scrimmage and one-on-one deal and boom, I'm on the team. These stories are being told by someone who doesn't have a fundamental understanding of sports. How did they get this job? Now, let me add on this later. We just played you the clip where he says, coming out of high school, he was 5'9", 130 pounds. 5'9", 130 pounds. Franklin Williams, Stephen A. Smith says, is 6'2", 215 pounds. Is there a high school basketball coach in America? So, well, you know what? Let me put Franklin Williams and Stephen A. in a one-on-one matchup. That will prove something. 5'9", 130, according to Stephen A. Smith. Franklin Williams, who I've been able to find old newspaper clippings about him making, scoring double-figure points and hitting key buckets to help Thomas Edison High School win games. I can't find Stephen Smith in any newspaper reports about Thomas Edison High School doing anything. Could not find it. I could find Franklin Williams. I could find some dude named Chris Roddick or Riddick. I could find Carl Weathers, or I believe is his name. I could find stories about Thomas Edison High School and the guys that Stephen A. Smith says he played with. Find stories about Harvey Stoller. Stephen A. Smith, nowhere to be found, but he's telling people at 5'9", 130 pounds, he's taking on 6'2", 215 experienced basketball players in one-on-one matchups, and he's busting their ass. Make it make sense. This is someone completely comfortable with lies and exaggerations. This is someone that if you listen to these stories, it's like, whoa, there's some major insecurity issues here. There's some major, mental issues perhaps here. What grown man that has made millions of dollars, has fame at Stephen A. Smith's level, is running around telling far-fetched tryout stories? That he made the high school basketball team off a one-day tryout and this incredible one-on-one performance against Franklin Williams and knocking down every shot in the scrimmage. And then he received a full basketball scholarship to Winston-Salem State after a one-day tryout where he makes 17 straight shots. This is the greatest tryout basketball player in the history of tryouts. Who does this? Think about what I told you about Dan Rather and what it is, their job. These people have to be very comfortable telling the biggest lies and the biggest exaggerations with a straight face. They're actors. There's a reason Stephen A. Smith is on General Hospital. They're plants and actors. They're comfortable going, yeah, JFK, his head went violently forward. When there's film that shows his head going violently backwards, they're comfortable doing that for the check. I want to play you Stephen A. This is a famous Stephen A. story about an article that he says he wrote about Big House Gaines when he was a member of the Winston-Salem State basketball team. Shot number 3, let's play it.
Got to tell you, Coach Gaines was sick. He was not healthy. And there had come to points and times where he was literally coming to practice or to games with a patch over one of his eyes. I didn't know whether it was cerebral palsy or if it was something else. His children knew that, his family knew that better than me, and I don't want to speak out of turn to exactly what that illness was, but he was not healthy. And I got to a point where I was literally scared that he was going to drop dead while coaching a game. And I said to him, look, man, I plan on having a voice long after your career is over. I want to make sure you're here to enjoy it. You know, I love you. I don't want something to happen to you. You kind of need to give this up. It's been almost 50 years, man. And he's like, F you.
It's a superpower, bro. Brother, yeah, this is a superpower. Don't trip.
I don't want to hear that, you know, and told me he wasn't trying to hear it, wasn't trying to listen to it, anything like that. And then when he did that, I said, okay, well, you know I'm studying to be a journalist, and you know I'm writing for the school newspaper. I'm going to write this article on you. He said, yo, F you, man. Get the hell out of my office. And I said, don't say I didn't warn you. I said, now, if you tell me not to write it, I ain't going to write it. But if you tell me...
AG the Great. Now, that would be interesting. That would be interesting if Jason Whitlock set his sights on Skip Bayless. That would be a... You know, before the year over, somebody going to get on Skip, bro. Because I see this back and forth beefing that's going on, what they doing right now. I would not doubt if it becomes a trend within mainstream media as well, bro. So, and if it does, somebody gonna get Skip, bro. He don't think his day coming.
That you don't care. I'm gonna write this article. And he said, I don't give a shit what you do. I said, no problem, fair enough. And I went and wrote it. And when I wrote it, oh my Lord, I was in Brown Hall dormitories. I was in Brown Hall, and it literally looked like a cemetery. I mean, you just saw dudes walking around. They looked at me, they just shook their head. You know, some of my teammates came into my room. I was in 211. My roommate was Mark Turner. It was Mark Turner. I had a crew of boys, my man Kevin Edwards and Boris Battle and Gary Stevens. I mean, I had all of these guys. Phil Hayes, Monte Ross, who's the assistant coach at Temple right now. You know, Monte wasn't there for this because he was away with his now wife. We knew she was gonna be his wife long ago. You know, she'd come into town and we'd scatter like ants. You know what I mean? Like we didn't matter. She just looked at us like, y'all know what to do. Get the hell up out of here. I'm here now. You know.
They be going in on them like, look, they be going in on him. Ain't nobody really took a deep dive and dissected that, man, like what Jason Whitlock doing with Stephen A. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen nobody focus on him at length and, you know what I'm saying, put energy into digging up clips and all that. This man dropped a 2-hour movie on Stephen A. Smith, bro. This is a movie.
So we knew we didn't have any rights. We didn't see him. But when I wrote that article...
it's a documentary. Yeah, this is a doc.
They came in my room and they like, man, we just gonna pray for you, bro. You know, we don't know what the hell you were thinking. What were you thinking? And I was like, look, man, I'm studying to be a journalist. He told me it was all right. I told him to his face. He told me it was all right to write the column. The assistant coaches wanted me thrown off the team. The chancellor wanted me expelled.
Calvo. What you do, bro?
You know, he later denied that he didn't have any recall. I said, yeah, there's a lot of things you don't remember. You didn't remember when you were on the damn job, but that's a different subject for another day. So, you know, he said all of that, and it was like, hey, next thing I know, Coach Gaines shut everything down. He told everybody to shut up, fall back. He said he wants to be a journalist. He came to me, he looked me in my face, he told me what he felt, he told me why, and he said, if it's all right with you, Coach, I'm going to write this. He said, that's what you're supposed to do when you're aspiring to be what he's aspiring to be. Stand down, leave him alone. And that was that.
This mistake is costing Amazon Prime shoppers big. Are you still using Prime? Because at this point, it's the dinosaur of online shopping. What if I told you there's a new exciting alternative? I'm going to show you one simple trick that'll save you a lot of money when shopping online.
Watch this. I can show you how to get the sweetest deals online when you shop from major retailers like Amazon.
So, I'm a journalist. So I went to just like, hey, can we find this article that Stephen A is talking about? Because a lot of things are on the internet. There's archives. There's just all kinds of stuff. And so the student newspaper at Winston-Salem State, back in Stephen A's day, I don't know what it is today, but back in Stephen A's day, it was a monthly newspaper that came out 6, 7, 8 times a year. When school was in session, once a month, they would put out a newspaper. 16, 17, 18 pages, 18, it'd be an even number. And so I found these monthly newspapers online in an archive, and I read several, 6, 8, maybe 10 Stephen A. Smith stories. He might write 2 stories in an edition of that paper. And so I found 6 to 10 of those stories. Only one could be the story that he's referencing. It came out in April of 1991. That makes sense, April. College basketball wraps up in March. And so in April, a guy under the byline, Stephen Smith, writes a summation of the 1990-91 season, which Stephen A. Smith, according to the stat sheet, or not Stephen A. Stephen Smith, according to the stat sheet, appeared in 9 games in that 90-91 season. And you know, is that Stephen A. Smith? I don't know. Stephen A. Smith, his own words, I've already shown you. He never played a game.
Man, I'm supposed to get out of YouTube jail on Uncut today. Dang. And I still can't go live over there. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm mad as hell, dog. I ready to get over there on Uncut and motherfucking fuck some up. I ready to get over there and throw a monkey wrenches in and some shit. But that's probably a sign.
This is what he says. He disputes what ESPN said. So I don't know who this Stephen Smith is on the stat sheet. Maybe it's him, maybe it's not. Who knows? Stephen A. Smith has said several different things. But this article does list Stephen Smith. And yeah, list Stephen Smith. And it's under the headline, Rams basketball takes stock of 90-91 season. I'm going to read you a couple of excerpts from the article. Here's how it begins, how the story begins. Coming into the 90-91 basketball season, the Rams, Winston-Salem State had...
Hey, G, enlighten me, bro. You come in the chat, bro. So this man worked for a racist, too? Besides remarks that he's already made that'll make people have a distaste, disdain, or dislike for him, he also works for, oh man,
had an awful lot to
That's
be
crazy.
optimistic about. They had improved tremendously after their 6-19 showing the year before. Several inside players were expected to fill the void left by the departures of Maurice Edwards and Toby Barber. Most importantly, 3 starters, along with several reserves, were expected to return, yet the Rams came up short, and once again, everyone is asking, what happened? That's paragraph number 1. Paragraph number 2, C.E. Gaines, head coach of the Rams, was openly optimistic about this year's squad. He had every right to feel that way. The explosive scoring of Kevin Edwards and John Harden was instrumental in helping the Rams of WSU to their 9-3 Southern Division record last year. One could only hope that the acquisition of 7 junior college players would provide the Rams with what they needed to win a title. Many are wondering what happened. So what happened is his theme that he's going back to and references throughout the story. Midway through the story, he talks about there was maybe some dissension among the junior college players and the returning players. He quotes an anonymous player saying a lot of us felt Big House, he didn't use the word, he said he was putting us down because he had a new crop of junior college players coming in. We felt like we had something to prove. So the junior college players and the coaching staff. Then he quotes Gaines saying, why he praised them. And then the story ends with this. This is the concluding paragraph. Whatever the case, the Rams haven't won a CIAA championship in 14 years. They were the last Southern Division team to accomplish that feat. If they hope to win anything in the near future, a change is necessary. Though there is speculation, no one knows where the change should take place. One thing's for certain, someone had better figure it out quickly, otherwise it will be 15 years since the Rams win a CIAA championship.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical products.
Shut up. What?
It's Amazon.
As best I can tell, and I did the research and we looked, this is the smoking gun article where he called for Big House Gaines to retire, and this set the campus ablaze, and the chancellor wanted Stephen A. expelled from school, and the assistant coaches wanted Stephen A. kicked off the team because of this article. Really? And think it all the way through. Stephen A. Smith, according to Wikipedia, he graduated from Winston-Salem State in 1991. This is a summation of the 90-91 season. It's published in April of 1991. They want to kick Stephen A. Smith off the team after the basketball season? When he's on track to graduate? They want to expel him from school in April of 1991 at the end of a semester when he's on track to graduate? Make it make sense.
I thought he messed his knees up though, bro. How did I don't know.
I'm gonna circle back to Dan Rather and these people that are installed.
All right, yep. At this point, we're gonna go ahead and check out. And if you want to see the rest of this, if you want to see the rest of it, is Jason Whitlock unpacks Stephen A. Myth response to fat bastard diss. But if I'm not mistaken, yeah, he's premiering the response to him getting cussed out yesterday. So yeah, I'm going ahead and slide up out of here, check that out, and I'm gonna tap back in with y'all a little bit later. Uncut, I'll be back tomorrow, I do believe. So yeah, man, it'll mean a lot. Shit, OGs, they want to pull up on me, we turn up. You know what I'm saying? Fresh out of jail over that way. Shit, just have a good time. I drop the link. I ain't bother nobody, dog. I ain't bother nobody. I ain't getting to nobody shit either. Tired of getting strikes over there. More or less what I'm gonna be doing over Uncut is, you know what I'm saying, same thing we've been doing over here. Watching beef. Watching these folk get to it. But like, you know what I'm saying, probably, yeah, watch some different beefs over there. Or shit, watch some beef within the sector or something. But I ain't messing with no goddamn body, that's for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all a little bit later. I gotta tap in with the kiddos, lock it up, make sure, you know what I'm saying, they get cleaned up in the bed and all that. I already fed, but we ordered some Pizza Hut. I love it when we get pizza, bro. So they probably full out that pizza. I'm finna go bother them a little bit. You know, sometimes like shit, parents always scream, my kids get on my nerves. Then sometimes shit like, and yeah, I like to bother my kids sometimes. They be sitting there chilling, I get to fucking with them. Granny, I'm gonna catch y'all later, man. Yup. Appreciate the love. What's this playing in the background? I want to hear the other one. I might pull up with a new slap over there though. A new one though. Like another one y'all ain't heard yet though. Stay tuned.
Said That is like me, that shit very likely. That's why these niggas bite it, they wanna be just like me. Say the ladies like me, that shit very likely. That's why these niggas bite it, they wanna be just like me. Know your girl to hold it, baby, it's a handful. See your hoe, I do the most, she say I'm a handful. I be trippin', can't control it, sometimes I'm a handful. I can't stand when they get to the band, talking handful. Yeah, new, green, deck, they need smoke. Where they at? Titties, check, ass, fat, that my type. Where you at? You a catch. Where my net? Mama fly. Where my jet? Her she got a nigga, but that nigga niggas. Pussy nigga, I know he don't know what to do with that. Let it pop. I'ma make it rock, I'ma make it go so hard. She gon' tell me stop. Yeah, I'ma chop it up like I made it drop. Yeah, told her bend it over, but she made it drop. Try to hit her one, but she don't wanna stop. For the baby mama, now I got her op. Try to hit her one, but she don't wanna stop. For the baby mama, now I got her op. So the ladies like me, that shit very likely. That's why these niggas bite it, they wanna be just like me. So the ladies like me, that shit very likely. That's why these niggas bite it, they wanna be just like me. Know your girl to hold it, baby, it's a handful. See your hoe, I do the most, she say I'm a handful. I be trippin', can't control it, sometimes I'm a handful. I can't stand when they get to the band, talking handful. Ayy, new word, same scale, new clientele, same play, new sale. I had to stop beefing for one of them bitches tell.
Hey, my niggas can't figure up this. Goddamn, I caught you out the corner of my eye, broski. Appreciate you pulling up, G.
I can't hear the bitch, I'm sitting in the cell. I stay in my lane cause they want me to fail. I can't take the envy, I don't like the smell. Caught him with a girl, bro, don't know he finna shell. Shit, I might take it, bitch, and keep her to myself. Try to hit her one, but she don't wanna stop. For the baby mama, now I got her op. Try to hit her one, but she don't wanna stop. For the baby mama, now I got her op. So the ladies like me, that shit very likely. That's why these niggas bite it, they wanna be just like me. So the ladies like me, that shit very likely. That's why these